Welcome back to Mizzou Hockey TV. I'm your host for this week, Owen Backer. Joined alongside me, Captain Eli Baumstark. Eli, how are we doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. So, the Tigers this past weekend, they played a game on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They dropped all three to some difficult competition. I believe it was, 3-6 to Maryville, 9-1 to Arkansas, and 8-2 to Lindenwood. So just kind of walk me through the mindset after that game, or after that series of games, and how do you guys stay composed? What's it look like in the locker room, and how do you try to reset yourselves going into the next weekend?
Well, it's really hard not to get down on yourself after a weekend like that. Three big losses like that, especially against a rival like Arkansas, is really tough. But I think, as our group of leaders has really come together to kind of try and get the team rolling and treat it more as like a learning experience. As I was talking with you guys before this, Nick Saban, famous quote on Instagram, basically said, it's not a terrible thing to lose early in the season as long as you learn from it and you can really build and kind of understand where you need to be and what you need to change to get ready. So, I think we're going to try and treat it as a learning opportunity and not to get too down on ourselves, just so we know where to be when we're ready for this series coming up next weekend.
Right. Well, you talk about learning opportunities, and it's better to lose early on than not know what to do at the end of the season when you're losing. So what do you think are the big lessons that you can take away from this? What do you think is the single biggest piece of advice that you've learned after that weekend series?
Personally, I would say is we really have to be sharper. Last year at Division III, we could really get away with a lot of stuff. You make a simple mistake or don't really take care of your job. It was easy to slide by pretty, the competition's not the same. So I think right now the biggest thing, at least that I've learned, and I think a lot of other people have, is we really got to take care of the puck. Simple turnovers, fixable mistakes really cost us a lot this weekend, and I think that's part of the reason the scores got so out of control. Just once we lost focus, we made a lot more mistakes, and that really, really, really hurt us. So just taking care of the puck, I think, is the biggest thing that we learned.
There are some positives to take away. First, on a personal note, you scored, which is your first of the season, if I'm not mistaken. How does it feel to finally, get on the scoreboard? I believe we had a quote from you earlier in the season that said you don't get on the scoreboard too much, but you did right there. So how did it feel to finally get on the board?
It was really amazing, honestly. I have a couple of friends on Lindenwood, so it was nice to play against them and then score was really nice. I think last year I might have scored early in the season and then didn't score until January. So I'm hoping that doesn't continue in the same fashion this year. But, it was really great. Everybody loves a score. And, playing forward for the whole year this year, I really hope I can get some more. So I scored 3 goals in the regular season last year, and I'm at 2 right now. So
does it kind of change your mindset now that you're going in knowing that you will be playing forward the entire year and that you don't necessarily have to worry about switching back and forth or maybe jumping in a defensive if you're needed, and that you can just focus on what you have to do as a forward?
Yeah, I would say definitely. Ethan and Mason and I have really built some great chemistry together as a line, and I think just kind of having that last year to really prepare, and then this year knowing that it's going to stay like that for a long time has really kind of helped us. And we saw this weekend I scored 2 goals in 3 games, which, like I said, last year it was 2 goals in 25 games. So it's really nice. I like playing forward, so it's a good adjustment.
Yeah, and you brought up your line mates, Ethan DeGroat and Mason Buddy. They have been absolutely flying this year. They weren't able to play the whole season last year, so this is their first full season in the Tigers uniform. How have you kind of appraised their performance and finally stepping up as full-time members of this roster?
Yeah, I would give them a 10 out of 10. I think they're both great teammates, and they really work hard, which is really the most you can ask for. So, once they've kind of got adjusted, I think, last year, they came in at semester. It's hard to adjust to a new team. And now that they really feel concrete as members of the team, they're really finding their groove a lot more than they did last year, which is pretty incredible.
Looking forward now, Friday and Saturday, the 25th and 26th, you guys are back at home taking on the University of Illinois, the Fighting Illini. What is your confidence level going into that series, and how does it feel to finally be back at home again?
I'm really excited to play these games. It's a little bit of a bragging rights, which we haven't had in the past for a while at least. So, I don't want to make any statements that might come back to bite me. So, everybody feels good. We've had a great couple practices, and we look to continue that into next week. And if we just keep continuing to do what we know we can do, we should take care of business, in my opinion. I think just. Oh, sorry. Second half, being at home is really exciting. It's great to play at Jeff City and in front of the home crowd. You guys get to be there, which really boosts everybody else's experience. You can't complain at playing at home. So everybody's really excited.
This man is clearly media trained. He is not giving Illinois any bulletin board material. That is very, very wise. So last question here. I'll just say, you're still currently at the top of your division. You obviously had a rough weekend, but this team is still very capable. Do you think your team has fully adjusted to D2 level of competition and D2 play? And what do you think is the ceiling for this team this season?
I don't think there's anything stopping us from winning the Matcha this year. We've won the last two at the Silver Division, and I don't see anything stopping us from the Gold Division. Thankfully, this Arkansas and Maryville game from both those games from the past weekend are non-conference, so we've kind of gotten a taste of what things will be like when we either go to their barn or they play here. Now that we know what it's going to be like, we can prepare for those games, and then if we take care of business against those people that, like Illinois or Illinois State or Bradley, that we don't know a ton about, but they're not our main focus right now. I think it's really we'll be able to take care of it. I think it helps a lot, and we're feeling good about where we're going in that direction. Sorry, I don't know. I lost my train of thought in the middle of that one, but I think it works.
He thinks the team is good. Quote it.
Yes, that's all you need to know. I think we're good, and I don't think there's anything stopping us from winning our conference.
All right, well, thank you so much, Eli. Once again, Captain Eli Baumstark. I'm Owen Backer. Make sure to follow us on social media, all the ones that you see right somewhere on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next time.